We know that Donald Trump has claimed that he would not start any new wars, that wars are devastating, all of that, whatever. Okay, he's a liar. He's a massive liar. JD Vance, though, he's also having to shift things pretty quickly because video of him from just last year has popped up again. And I wonder if this sort of thing, if we can make it go viral enough, if this could lead to him being booted out of the administration. I don't know, take a look.
I think the most likely and the most dangerous scenario is Iran and Israel right now. So obviously the Israelis are on high alert. They just had this terrorist attack. They're dealing with Hamas. What if in North Israel, a bunch of Iranian-backed militias start killing thousands of Israeli civilians? Okay, so the Israelis invade, do the Iranians counterattack, and now you have Israel, Iran in a regional conflict. The Turks probably have to get involved. The Saudi Arabians probably have to get involved. And then that is the sort of thing that could balloon into World War III.
Are you still worried about that? Because that was only a year ago. I know that you've changed a lot over the last decade, buddy. After all, you are serving America's next top Hitler. But that was a year ago. And you said that allowing this to start could balloon into World War III. And I agree. It could. I don't know how likely it is, but it could happen. So why is it that Donald Trump isn't doing literally anything to stop that from happening? I mean, he could put out a statement saying now, I believe in the power of diplomacy. I believe that Israel has already accomplished its short-term goal of murdering scientists or whatever. So, and now they need to stop. And if they don't stop, then we're cutting off our military aid. Is that a thing that he's gonna say? No, all he's saying is, Israel, isn't it awesome how much damage they're doing to Iran? Iran, don't you fight back. You just take it because that's reasonable. That's how regimes respond to being bombed. They just take it and they don't do anything. They don't target Israel. They don't target their allies like America. They wouldn't use proxy forces, nothing like this. This is laughable. If you are seriously, as JD Vance pretended he was last year, worried about this ballooning into a larger conflict, then Donald Trump is not doing anything to stop that from happening. Now, JD Vance, of course, now is vice president. He has to pretend that Donald Trump knows what he's doing, that he trusts him. So he sends out this message. And I just want to reiterate what I said, I think on Monday in regard, if we put this up, it'll sell the message. Twitter should not legally be allowed to have tweets this long because that is ridiculous. Is this freaking Substack? What is going on? It's supposed to be brief messages. Anyway, in, I don't know, Hillbilly Elegy 2, Electric Boogaloo here, this novel he's posted. He says, blah, blah, blah. POTUS has been amazingly consistent that Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. Look, I guess if he's consistent on anything, it's that he doesn't want them to have nukes. Again, he doesn't care that we do. He doesn't care that Israel does, all that stuff, whatever. He goes on to talk about enrichment and blah, 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 civilian nuclear energy. But most of this message is the president is showing remarkable restraint, okay? That he trusts him, that he produces stability instead of chaos. All of this is absolute BS. And there's no time that this potential conflict between Israel and Iran could happen that would not be very, very dangerous. But there's no time more dangerous than now, okay? Because Donald Trump is an agent of chaos. Donald Trump believe, like he will wildly change his position as we saw him do in response to these attacks, just because he thought it looked cool and he wanted America to get credit. Remember his stupid post about like, nobody has better equipment than us. He's doing like product demonstrations via war. And this is who he supposedly trusts. Now, I don't know if any of this, the video we showed you, will cause conflict between Trump and Vance. There is already a conflict between Trump and another member of his administration who's been disagreeing with him kind of back when Trump had a different position, I want you to bear in mind. So Tulsi Gabbard obviously said in March in a hearing that Iran was not on the precipice of having a nuclear weapon. And the reason she said that, we looked into it, is because that's what the evidence showed. But that is not what Trump now wants the message to be. So screw her for saying that which was true. Now, she said something a little bit more incendiary back in 2020. She said, "We do not seek regime change," Trump declares as he escalates his regime change war against Iran. Neocons like Graham and Bolton are cheering. To all who voted for Trump because of his anti-war rhetoric, it's time to realize he lied to you. Stand with me against Trump or Trump's Iran war. Other than maybe the part about Bolton, I haven't checked in on him. You could literally just post that exact same message right now, and it would be even more true today than it was. And I don't know, with that now floating around again, she might not be long for this world, or at least for the Trump administration. Reports are he didn't like that video she put out about nuclear annihilation and everything. And he's considering like shutting down her entire office. I don't know if that's literally like no more DNI, the director of national, I don't know. But he apparently is so repulsed by her saying a couple things that are true for once that she might lose her job. What do you think?
Somebody's gonna get fired. I mean, I think he's incensed and he's now in a bunker, Trump and Stephen Miller. There's only two of them in there, okay? And it's us against the world. And I think he's lashing out and furious and perhaps needs a cocktail of meds regulated in some way, just changed up a little bit. I think this is bananas, okay? And you're right too about the X account and hillbilly elegy, okay? I ate 2 pieces of pizza as you just read snippets of that. That's how long it was, okay?
Yeah.
Hopefully JD Vance, I'll end with this, is somewhere on Signalgate Part 2. Speaking, whispering just little nuggets of reason, gently tiptoeing in some things there, but we'll see. We're all at their mercy.
Yeah, and at the mercy of their inability to edit. I get it. Look, I go into writing a short story and I'm like, this will be 3,000 words, and suddenly it's 7,000. It's basically a novella. I get it. It's tough, but I don't know. Vance, use AI or something. ChatGPT could cut that thing down. Anyway, that said, we've gone back and we've shown you what Vance said. We've gone back and showed you what Gabbard said. Let's show you now what Trump said, because he's consistent, okay? Never forget it. Back in 2013, he said this: remember that I predicted a long time ago that President Obama will attack Iran because of his inability to negotiate properly, not skilled. You see, you might want diplomacy, but if you suck at it, well, then you resort to war because you don't know the art of the deal, I guess. So there was that. And by the way, there was a lot of that. Okay, and not just because he's bad as a diplomat, Obama, but that for political reasons he would start this war. So Trump in 2011 said in order to get elected, Obama will start a war with Iran. And in 2012 he said, Obama will attack Iran in order to get reelected. And then in 2013, he said, I predict that President Obama will at some point attack Iran in order to save face. Which, by the way, I point this out not only and most importantly because Trump is now talking about attacking Iran, but also, I don't know, maybe like the third year of you tweeting that about Obama, start to think maybe he's not actually gonna attack Iran because he hasn't the last couple times. And also, he didn't. He never did. Again, nobody bears any responsibility for what they say. I almost swore, just poop out your hot takes. Just put it out there, get some likes, get some retweets. Nobody's checking that stuff. And even if they did, they wouldn't care. No MAGA person in the chat. There's some MAGA people in the chat. Does it bother you at all that Trump said year after year that politicians who can't do diplomacy resort to war, and also they do it to manipulate their domestic political approval rating? And now he's doing that. Does that bother you at all? You know it doesn't. You know it doesn't. You love the tweets when he sent them out because you hated Obama and you love to see him get burned, but you don't care at all that Trump was so wildly wrong in this case. In any event, final thoughts out of you, Sharon, on this topic?
No, except I did think about the emotional intelligence or lack thereof. Remember, Obama was just called all kinds of cowardice and everything else for that red line. And then they tiptoe past it and it's still, we're not gonna launch anything at them. Donald Trump has no filter, and those who choose to continue to blindly follow him and then say, oh, but wait, it's Tuesday at noon and I think that I don't want war. We'll see, okay? Yeah. You have to roll with him, ride with him to the end. That's what you have to do.
Okay.
It's all right.
Go to a break. I was just thinking about an earlier time when Obama, for all of the issues that I had with him, and there were a lot, so many wasted opportunities and all that. Like, man, it really was a different time. And it is impossible for someone who has only lived in this time to understand how different things were before 2016. It is impossible, and I am an old man for that reason.